They warned me not to say this. They warned you not to hear it. But truth has a way of resurfacing, especially the truths that shake the very ground beneath us. Today, I will speak of women, not as the poets do, not as the romantics claim, but as they truly are beneath the veil that men have blindly worshipped. What if I told you that the very love you chase, the very affection you die for, is not what you think it is? That men, in their lustful pursuit, become pawns in a game far more ancient and cunning than they understand. Today, I speak not to the weak, but to those who dare to awaken. Woman is not your salvation. She is your reflection, distorted. Tell Meg, why does man wander the earth as if half of him were missing? Why does he believe, with trembling certainty, that salvation lies not in conquest, nor creation, nor silenced, but in the arms of a woman? Why is it that when he suffers, fails, when he feels unseen, he does not turn inward, he turns to her? They have told you, have they not? That love is the answer, that she will fix you, that she will see you, that once you have her, everything will finally make sense. The chaos in your soul, the fire in your gut, the emptiness in your chest, all of it soothed by the right woman. But what if I told you that she is not the cure? What if I told you she's is the mirror, not the gentle one, no, not the one that flatters, that comforts, that tells you lies wrapped in silk. She is the other mirror, the brutal one, the one forged in instinct and blood and ancient memory. She reflects not what you pretend to be, but what you truly are. You approach her with your finest mask, your charm, your ambition, your softness. You smile, you flatter, you chase, hoping, praying that she will accept you, that she will lift you out of the shadows of insignificance. But she does not see the mask. She sees through it. She sees the fear, the hesitation, the weakness behind your words. She sees the boy hidden in the man's body. She sees the desire to be chosen, to be picked, to be validated. And she knows that a man who seeks approval cannot be followed. A man who begs for love cannot protect. A man who searches for himself in a woman's eyes is already lost. She does not hate you for this, no. She simply mirrors you, coldly, accurately, without sentiment. And here is the most cruel part, the most terrifying truth. She doesn't even know she's doing it. She is not trying to test you. She is not trying to expose you. She is simply reacting, biologically, subconsciously, to what your soul is radiating, your posture, your voice, your intentions, your need. You may say all the right things. You may buy the flowers, write the poetry, open the doors, but she feels what you are, not what you claim, but what you are, and what you arrogate is what she reflects. You see, woman is not salvation. She is filtration, a divine gatekeeper. You walk to her carrying your internal chaos, and she does not fix it, she magnifies it. She amplifies your wounds. She forces you to confront the very truths you've spent years running from, that you are not ready, that you are not built yet, that you are untempered, unproven, unresolved. And then you call her cruel, you call her heartless, cold, manipulative. You say she led you on, used you, broke you. But you are wrong. She simply handed you a mirror. She gave you back you. And in that reflection, you saw the desperation, the hunger, the lack of mission, the betrayal of your own potential. You saw the man who chases because he cannot attract, who pleads because he cannot command, who fantasizes about salvation because he cannot build a kingdom within himself. And instead of fixing that, you blamed her, you called her broken, modern, lost. But deep down, you know the truth. She is not broken. She is just not fooled. She cannot be lied to. Not by your words, not by your actions, not by your empty declarations of love. Because nature gave her a gift, the ability to see beyond presentation and into essence. The woman does not choose the kind, she chooses the useful. Ah, so you still believe it, don't you? You still believe that if you are kind, if you are gentle, soft spoken, pure in your intentions, that she will see you, that she will choose you, that she will whisper to her friends, "He is different, he is the one I've been waiting for." But I must ask you, where did you get this idea? Was it from stories, from fables, from the lips of broken men who lost their way chasing something they never understood? Let me offer you something closer to truth. Though I warn you, it will not be easy to swallow. The woman does not choose the kind, she chooses the useful. And I do not mean useful in the shallow, transactional way that weak men like to shout about. No. This is deeper. This is survival. Ancient. Primal. In her mind, often unknown even to her, every man is a calculation, a question, a test. Can he protect me? Provide for me? Move the earth if I need it moved? Can he influence others? Command space? Will he be admired by men? Will he be feared by them? Can he navigate this brutal, unforgiving world and emerge not just alive, but victorious? And if the answer is yes, then his kindness is welcomed, even romanticized. But if the answer is no, if he is weak, uncertain, compliant, unsure of himself, then that same kindness becomes pathetic, unattractive, mocked, forgotten. You think love is given for goodness? No. Love is given for value, and value is never measured in how gently you speak. It is measured in how powerfully you move, in what you can do, in who you are, when the world is watching and when it is not. You see, the kind man thinks, if I am good enough, she will love me. But the useful man knows, if I become powerful enough, she will not only love me, she will obey me, defend me, surrender to me. And this is where the great tragedy of modern man begins. He confuses morality with strategy. He thinks that being nice is a virtue, but it is not. It is a mask, often worn by those too afraid to be dangerous, too afraid to say no, too afraid to take what they want, too afraid to risk being disliked. So they settle for being invisible. But woman does not crave invisibility. She craves presence. She craves certainty. She craves the man who stands when others kneel, who speaks when others whisper, who walks into a room and shifts the temperature with nothing but his gaze. That is usefulness. That is power. That is what is chosen. She may smile at the point, but she lays with the general. She may laugh with the jester, but she marries the king. She may say she wants a good man, but what she truly wants is a capable man. And in that capability, that utility, she will find safety, meaning, even worship. But the kind man, he becomes a diary, a therapist, a footnote. He is the one she calls to vent, but never to build. The one she trusts with her secrets, but never her soul. The one she keeps close, just close enough to feed her ego, but far enough to never matter. And what's worse, he thinks he is winning. He mistakes access for intimacy. He mistakes attention for respect. He mistakes tolerance for love. But she has already chosen, and it was not the kind, it was the useful. Love in her hands is a tool. In yours, it is a weakness. Let me ask you something dangerous, something most men are too afraid to face. What if love, the very thing you've been taught to worship, is the reason you're weak? You hold love like a sacred flame, trembling in your palms, hoping she sees your warmth, hoping she protects it. You offer it without condition, without measure, without defense. You give her your time, your thoughts, your future. You give her the keys to your peace. And all the while you believe this makes you noble. But does it? Or does it make you easy to manipulate? Because here's what no one dares to say. Love in her hands is not a sacred flame, it is a blade. It is a weapon, a negotiation, a tool of measurement, of leverage, of control. She does not love like you do, does not love blindly. She does not love without conditions. No. She loves with purpose, with instinct, with calculation. She is not being deceptive. She is being strategic. And that is, she survives. That is why she thrives. You love as a form of surrender. You fall in love before you know her intentions. You fall in love before you even know who you are. You fall in love because you are tired of fighting the world alone. And so, you lay your armor at her feet, hoping she'll honor the gesture. But she doesn't want your surrender. She wants your strength. She wants your frame, not your fragility. And here's the brutal truth. The very moment you make love your identity, she begins to lose attraction for you. Why? Because now you orbit her. Now she becomes your mission. Now she is the center. And the man who makes a woman the center of his life no longer has won. She did not fall for your affection. She fell for your potential. She did not desire your obedience. She desired your direction. She did not crave your softness. She craved your certainty. And yet, once you fall into love, the kind of love that consumes you, you begin to dissolve. You stop leading. You stop commanding. You start evolving. You become comfortable. You become available. You become predictable. And predictability to a woman is death. Understand this. She does not weaponize love out of cruelty. She weaponizes it because she knows its power. She knows the effect it has on you, how it disarms you, how it silences your ambition, how it makes you malleable. And when a man becomes malleable, when his sense of self depends on her mood, he becomes replaceable. She may say she wants a man who is romantic, vulnerable, open, but deep in her unconscious mind, she is watching. Can you still lead? Can you still say no? Can you walk away if disrespected? Can you remain a man even under her gaze? And if the answer is no, if you lose yourself in the depths of your own feelings, she will begin to test, subtly, sharply, and you, lost in love, will not even notice that she is no longer in love with you, but merely tolerating the shell of who used to be. You gave her love, raw, real, pure, and she took it. Yes, but not because it moved her. She took it because it gave her power. And while you were busy drowning in your emotions, she was measuring your spine. The man who chases women becomes the man women run from. Strange, isn't it? The more you chase, the faster she runs. The more you call, the quieter she gets. The more effort you pour into her, the more invisible you become. And yet you keep running, sprinting toward her validation, starving for her attention, believing, like a fool in heat, that devotion is the way to desire. But let us ask, why must you chase in the first place? If you were truly the man you pretend to be, if you were the mountain, the storm, the sun, would you be running after anyone? The truth is this: the man who chases is already beneath her. Not because she is better, not because she is more, but because you have told her so. You have communicated, without saying a word, that her presence is more valuable than yours, that your time is negotiable, that your energy is infinite, that your dignity is disposable. You think this is love? No, this is weakness. This is obsession disguised as romance. This is desperation disguised as loyalty. She does not see your efforts as noble. She sees them as submission. And woman, even when she does not admit it, does not crave the man who submits. She craves the one who commands. You see, she will test your value, not by how much you pursue her, but by how much you are willing to walk away. She watches closely. How fast you respond, how much you adjust, how easily you forget yourself in order to please her. And the more you do, the less she respects you. Why? Because in every chasey, you abandon your throne. You step down from your purpose. You pause your mission. You betray your path for her smile, her body, her approval. And what does that say about you? That you are easily redirected. that your kingdom is for sale, that your hunger for her outweighs your hunger for yourself, and the man who hungers for a woman more than he hungers for purpose is already lost. You begin to text too much, compliment too often, apologize without cause. You start to orbit her life, waiting, hoping, chasing, and the moment you do this, you transform. You are no longer the man she admired. You are no longer the mystery. You are no longer the fire she felt drawn to. Now, you are predictable. Now, you are common. Now, you are safe. And what is safe? Safe is boring. Safe is replaceable. Safe is forgettable. The man who chases forgets who he is. He becomes a reflection of her desires, not the embodiment of his own. He says what she wants to hear. He does what she wants to see. He becomes agreeable, harmless, tame, and in doing so, he trades his power for a chance to be chosen. But woman does not choose the man who pleads. She chooses the man who chooses himself. She follows the man who does not follow her. She respects the one who would walk away rather than kneel. She is drawn to the man who is too busy building his world to lose sleep over hers. And here's the great irony. The man who doesn't chase is the one who is chased. Not because he plays games, not because he withholds affection, but because he is whole, focused, grounded. He does not seek to be chosen. He is the choice. But the man who runs toward her, panting, hoping, desperate for approval, loses everything. His time, his soul, his pride, and eventually himself. Why do men suffer? Emotionally, financially, even spiritually, in their endless pursuit of women? Why do they give everything and receive so little truth in return? Why does love often feel like sacrifice, pain, or a quiet surrender of power? This speech will dissect the core. The brutal reasons men fall, not from battle, but from blind desire. Socrates shall guide us into the underworld of truths that were never meant to escape the lips of man.